Welcome back, welcome back. This next guest I have is a member here at Method 8, and she is a world-class Rubik's Cube genius. She's also ahead of her class in school and other activities as well. She's a native of America, and her family has origins in Peru. With her father, Victor Arcenio, I'd like to welcome to the stage Cassandra Arcenio, everybody. Come on up. Welcome to the media, Cassandra. Welcome. How you doing, sir, Victor? How are you? Good. Have a seat. Let's chat. Now, you tell us how you got into the Rubik's Cube arena. Tell us a little bit about it.
All right. So at my school, we had, it's called a Genius Hour project.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to do anything you ever wanted to learn. So it could be anything, learning another language, learning a Rubik's Cube, for example.
Yeah.
And that's what I
And that's how you got into it. Now, what is the goal of the program? Like, is it just to accomplish something, or do you have to actually? What is the goal?
Either. If you learn something, that's good. But if you accomplish your goal, that's better.
So, yeah, and we're gonna go over this later. So, Victor, tell us, what did you? I mean, did you have to help her out, or how did you have to learn this? What did it take time?
It was a project that Cassandra had in her school. So we were brainstorming, and she had a list. I suggested all the projects.
And you suggested the Rubik's Cube.
Then Cassandra can say that part.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we were in the car, and it was already a week into the project. And I told my teacher, I already picked my project, even though I didn't. And I was like, Dad, I really need to pick project because I still didn't pick one.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, you're going to do a Rubik's Cube. And I was like, huh.
And then that's what happened.
You're hysterical. He's like, but you're going to do a 4x4.
Oh,
And I was
so
like,
that's even
oh,
harder.
Man. I was like, I don't know about that. But I was like, I guess so. I might as well.
How long did it take you to learn it?
So the project we had the time span of was 2 months.
Yeah.
To learn, plus some research. But up until now, I would say probably it's like half a year.
So it took you half a year.
I mean, you learn what to do in those 2 months.
Yeah.
And then you just progressively get better.
Now, and you're like a pro at it now. You like, do you consider yourself a pro yet or no?
I mean, there's some people that could do it in less than a minute.
So I've seen you operating and you're like moving around. Like, I mean, most people, now tell us about like the pattern. Is there like, give us like, how do you learn? Is there a pattern that you have to follow or a code or anything?
Yeah, the first 2 steps, which are getting the centers and the edges, they're both logic. But then once you get past there's different algorithms you have to learn, which there's letters, which mean certain things on the cube. And you just have to memorize them, and
you were able to memorize them.
Yeah.
Amazing. So these are, and again, you're going to show us how to do this at the end of the show. Now these are some of the. Did you have to? So you had to write all the. Now where'd you get all this stuff? Did you look on YouTube or anything?
YouTube.
So you had to get all of these, and you work your. So you say you work your way from the middle, and then you kind of just go where the algorithms take you. So this is how, so the good thing about the interview is you not only get to show people how to do it, but you also get to talk about it. So I guess the question that a lot of people want to know is, what's the purpose? I mean, what do you get out of learning how to do a Rubik's Cube? What do you get out of it?
Well, Rubik's Cube, first of all, it's just a really good puzzle to learn in general. But your hand-eye coordination, first of all, because you take in all your logic and your knowledge that you learned.
Yeah.
It's better for memorizing too. So the faster you think, like the faster your hands will be.
Yeah.
So it's basically like getting a math problem and answering it faster than looking at it, figuring out the different parts. Like you already know it.
Yeah.
And then you could just do it faster.
Wow. Now you're an actor. You've been in a lot of projects here. I mean, I don't even have to show a clip because you're already in the trailers. So does this help out? Would you recommend it for actors and helping them increase their memory span?
Yeah, I would, because you have to memorize lines sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're not just one sentence. Sometimes they're maybe half a page or more. And it's easier because you could break into chunks or take your logic and like connect the sentences and move it together better. And maybe even like you're acting mixed with the words you're saying. So
it does increase your brain power by.
Yeah.
So basically, you're saying you can take the formula and tap it into something else and use the same formula to be able to kind of memorize things.
Yeah, anything.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. Now, how did you've been articulate for how long has she been articulate, Victor, since she was born?
I think so. Being bilingual, probably that helps her too.
Now, you guys took a trip. You go to Peru. Now, you took this to Peru. Tell us how the kids in Peru, were they responsive to the Rubik's Cube? How did they do?
They did really good. We had a competition at the end once they learned. The first day, we asked who would want to learn a Rubik's Cube. And there were some kids, they were embarrassed because they're like, there's no way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you would think, what am I supposed to do, me? Like, But there were a ton of kids, they wanted to learn. They're like, yeah, I want to do it. So we got the Rubik's Cubes, took it to the school, and we started explaining it to them. And they started liking it better and better and better. One kid, he went home one night and came back the next day.
And he had it.
He knew what to do.
Oh.
He didn't have all of them memorized, but he had the idea. So, and they kept practicing and practicing and getting better. And
then,
I don't know, they had just something about them and they just felt like more confident that because they could do something. You know?
Yeah.
And then at the end there was a competition. 6 kids participated. We had 50 Rubik's Cubes.
50, okay.
But we taught 100 kids.
Okay.
So if you know how to do it, you teach somebody else.
Also, now kids in Peru, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but their school system is a little bit different. But you guys actually offered a prize and you gave out certificates. So did you see more of a drive in them? How would you compare them to American kids?
Okay, in my opinion, I think American kids are slightly more privileged. And also, high school there, it finishes when you're like 16 or 17.
Yeah.
So they're younger. And maybe they're not like as mature, or you could say that they are more mature because they have to like take in more responsibility faster than here.
Yeah.
And they work really hard at like everything.
And at what age do they graduate?
16, 17.
Oh, so they're ready. Now so they took on the challenge when you went in there. Yeah. So give us an idea. You went in the classroom. How did you guys present it to them? Did you do it first?
Yeah,
or?
First I was like, okay, everybody ready? And they're like, yeah, everybody crowded around, freaking out. And I was like, all right, so I did it, and they were watching me like with such concentration. They're like, oh my gosh. And then they start hitting each other like, she's doing it.
Yeah.
Look. I was even nervous because they were expecting so much of me.
Yeah.
And it was done. And one kid fell on the floor. He was like,
he couldn't believe
got hit
it.
by something. It was so great, but he did learn, that kid.
Oh, okay. And they were receptive too. Now you speak Spanish, so you speak two languages. Wow, so you speak 2 languages. You got the Rubik's Cube, and you play instruments as well. Now you play Now, how I know being in music, you have to be in sequence all the time. Does this help out in music also?
Yeah, because I know music is one of the things where you use most of your senses. So this is probably the closest thing. It's slightly different from music because you use logic.
Yeah.
But in music, you have to like read information, take in the information, hand-eye coordination,
and then interpret it.
So I think so. I became a better saxophone player.
Yeah. And you've been doing, like I said, it's unbelievable to see how you're able to. I can't wait to see you do it. Now what time, or do you have a time that you're trying to beat when you do it, or?
Well.
The time you mean the school?
I'm just saying. Does she have like? Do you have a set goal when?
Oh well, okay. The world record on a 4x4 is 23 seconds.
Where you at right now?
So I'm at 3 minutes and 23 seconds. But
23 seconds. Well, it can be done. Now they say, let me see what you think about this. They say women are not good at chess. Have you tried chess yet?
I like chess. I remember because we were in the 6th, 7th grade, and our teacher, she's like, we're gonna have a chess tournament, and I was one of the last 3.
Yeah.
But I actually was playing chess, and other boys, they knew how to like kill me in 2 moves, and I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
And then they killed me, and I was like.
But they can't beat you at the Rubik's Cube.
No, they don't know. They're like, that's crazy. I'm like, you're so smart. I'm like, I could teach you.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Sort of like.
Now, are you gonna play? Do you play any sports at all?
I did play volleyball. and that was something that I really liked. I still play it occasionally.
But now you're just into the academic thing.
Yeah.
So now that you got this, I mean, you're age 15 and you've done almost over 3 independent films. You got the Rubik's Cube mastered, and you got the you've been to Peru. You've been teaching the Rubik's Cube. Now, when you graduate, what's your goals? Do you have a college in mind? Do you think you're going to get a scholarship at all?
I really hope I'll get a scholarship because, I mean, I try to do my best at school and get good grades. It's not about, like, the grades, really. It's just, I just want to do good. You know?
Yeah.
Because why not? Just do good.
Yeah.
But I really like anything in science. Like math is in science, so I like math, too.
Now, tell us, you just completed another project here. It was a movie about cancer, and you had to play an undercover fighter.
I was.
Yeah. Now tell us a little bit about that. You got to actually go into the gym. Now you used to actually try to box. So tell us a little bit about. I mean, did you have a good time playing this role?
The film was great. I loved it because, in fact, the gym we went to was the same gym I went to when I was younger. And I had like the same coach that was there. Yeah. And I was almost to the point where I was gonna do actual fights. But then I moved to another school district, so I didn't get the chance.
Missed it. Yeah.
But I do like taekwondo and stuff, so I still maintain that fighting skill.
Great. Well, we're about to go, and we're gonna when we come back, we're gonna take Cassandra over to the Rubik's Cube table, and you and your dad are you gonna cheer her on, Victor? All right.
You know what? It was a challenge for me because when Cassandra was doing that, and I said, okay, I'm going to do that because when I was in high school, I did not learn. Yeah. So now it was my time to learn. Yeah. Actually, I did all the algorithms and all these steps.
You and your dad are like best buddies. I mean, I mean, it's always good to see you too, because you're always every time I visit or come around, you're always working on something. So what's the next challenge after this?
Well,
maybe the project because in Peru we have a club in this school.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us a little bit about that before we go to the table.
And because we purchased the Rubik's Cube, maybe the next project will be to purchase more Rubik's Cube for different grade levels.
That'd be nice.
Kindergarten, elementary, intermediate, and high school.
Great.
Which there are, how many Rubik's Cube are like?
There's over like 300 Rubik's Cubes. I know this guy, he had a collection. And there's like 3x3, 4x4s, irregular shapes, mirror shapes. And one time when I was in Peru, this kid, he had a mirror shape, and it was all like,
so like they even got custom ones.
Like an alien one. But I figured it out, because it's like a 3x3. It's funny.
8-ball.
So on the next trip to Peru, maybe if we have more funds, we can purchase more for more students.
All right. Well, when we come back, we'll talk about them getting more funds, how you can contribute to their Rubik's Cube program they have with the United States and Peru. If you want to help out, how you can get in contact with Victor Arcenio and Cassandra as well. We'll be right back. When we come back, Cassandra is going to solve the Rubik's Cube for us. And she is going to explain, and hopefully we can comprehend how fast she does it. We'll be right back here in the meeting with Brian West. Don't go anywhere. Right back after this break.
I used to be married, Mr. Cunningham. I know what it's like to lose someone.
He's got a real tender-looking face. What do you expect me to do with this guy?
Listen, I don't want any trouble. I just want to fight. That's all I want.
Oh, I'm gonna get you to fight. I might even fight you myself.
Where's Nate? He was his first fight and he's nowhere in sight. God probably offered himself.
Take that back, Jim.
You made $1,000 on your first fight, and you're sleeping in your damn car. Are you kidding me?
I like my car, all right? I don't want to go home. I like my car.
So, Dr. Reddy sent me to tell you to meet him at his hotel room.
Okay, he's in town?
Yes, he is, and he knows you've been making money, too.
Well, I've been putting on some shows.
Listen, I don't care about your shows. What we need to be talking about is we need to be discussing my money. That's our #1 priority, okay? Once they found the switches, we became the victims. We became the test dummies. But I may have found a way to stop this. What about my wife? This is my time to talk to Brenda about my wife.
Don't worry about her.
The establishment of doctors and scientists have gotten out of hand.
You've lost your mind. They're gonna lock you up.
Did you take your meds? No human subject, you're screwed.
I refuse to just sit here and do nothing, Lou. See, I've got nothing to lose.
Just kill me. I don't want to put you through this. I'm sorry.
Jackie, look at me, right? Look at me. I want you to listen to me. Everything will be fine, right? Optimism is the best medicine, okay? All right, we are back. Cassandra is going to, you're going to perform the Rubik's Cube for us. Yeah. She's going to teach us. She's going to show us her algorithms. And let's see, I'm going to start the clock here. And I'm not going to time you, but I'm going to keep my own time, my own mental time. All right, you ready? Now, which one are you going to do? How are you going to do this?
All right, so I'm going to explain them in steps.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Here we go.
So first thing you got to do is the centers. That's the first step, which only takes logic. And once you get a handle of the cube, you can understand. And also on the 3x3, there's centers and edges. But on here, there's no defined center, so you have to make your own. First, you're going to get the white in the front, the yellow in the back, blue on top towards the sky, red on the right, orange on the left, and then green center will come automatically. So once you get that to make the centers, then you're going to do the edges, which there's only 2 of every color like this. So you could have 2 yellows and 2 reds, and that would make the center edge piece of like the 3x3, you know?
Yeah.
So this is basically what a 3x3 would look like before doing anything.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
So until this part, I can do it just thinking with logic.
Yeah.
But after that, what comes?
After that, you're going to get this lovely white cross that you're going to make out of the edges. Mm-hmm. And it has to match the center on this side with the white on this side. So the next step would be getting in between these. This corner doesn't matter first. So you would get orange and green. So I would look for it. It's right here. Put it there. Move it down. And once you get it to a certain point, you can move it in its corner, which would be here. Oh. So you would have orange and green.
Yeah.
And this one happened to automatically get its white corner.
Yeah, wow.
And then you just got to finish all the corners, and it'll end up looking like this. And you have the 3 bottom rows done. So you would get all these and the corners. And those have algorithms, like specific algorithms. And in total, for all of these, there's probably close to 17 that you might need to know, but you might not need to use all of them. You might only need 10 to solve one cube. It just depends on how the cube gets oriented when you shuffle it.
Yeah.
But some people, you know, the people that do the contest and close their eyes and solve Rubik's Cubes, those people can remember the orientation of the cubes very, very well.
Cool.
Yeah, but some people, if you don't know what to do, like I know my grandma, she has had the Rubik's Cube for as long as I can remember. But she only could solve 3 faces. Yeah. And, you know, you would always, wouldn't you have that like unsatisfied feeling?
Yeah.
Like it's like, oh, I could solve three faces.
So there's phases too.
Yeah. So, but sometimes you would be like, man, I can't do it. I know, I can't. But you can. And eventually, you'll get all 3 bottom rows done. And there's probably 5 algorithms to get all these corners.
Cool.
But there's different ways to solve the cube. This is just how I learn.
Yeah.
Some people, they solve 2 faces, other 2 faces. But I do the 3 bottom rows first. And once you get that, you're going to look at the top and you're going to complete the yellow side.
Okay.
And there are certain shapes that you'll get So for this one, will be the hook right there. And that algorithm, for example, will be letters.
Okay.
So F would be the front.
Uh-huh.
So it'd be F. U would be up. U. R will be right clockwise. Counter U. Counter R. Counter F. So it didn't mess up the bottom three. And we got a shape on the top, which is a fish. You just cover one up and you have a fish. Sometimes there's extra yellow, but that it doesn't affect it. You just have to look for that one shape that you need.
That's neat.
And then once you get that, there's another algorithm you can do. And this one, you get this, which...
So it is complex, pretty much.
But I mean, there's some algorithms, like the cross, the fish, and the one I did before this.
Okay.
They're all the same algorithm.
And that's, okay.
And you get the yellow side.
Yeah.
And then after yellow, you just have this top row left. And then first, you want to have this side done.
Yeah.
And you put in the back. And then once you get that, then one side will be completed. And then you have 3 left on these.
Amazing.
So then you're just going to go up, right, 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 up, backwards, 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 and
then it's done.
And you're done.
Look at that. Then it's done. Amazing. And that's, see, maybe that's your gift. Maybe you're going to be just like your dad teaching. Wow, that was, so all of these algorithms, learning which section goes where, how to make shapes, and you lead to the final solution, which is the complete Rubik's Cube. Now, how difficult on a scale from 1 to 10 would you say this is?
When you first start, impossible.
Impossible.
But then once you start working on it, slowly,
the recipe
goes up 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it just
comes to you.
Going.
Perfect. And you like just like so confident about it. And then there's another one.
Oh man.
Look at that. Another one. It's all done. Look at her.
Oh man.
And I'm still working on my first one. Because I need my algorithm sometimes.
Here, let me pass you your algorithms. Look at her. She's still going.
I mean, I know there's a boy in my school. He could solve the algorithms and like he can do Rubik's Cube super fast. And when I first saw him, I was like, there's no way in bejeebus. Like.
No, you said you got carpal tunnel when you first.
No, I didn't get carpal tunnel, but I got a cyst on my wrist from doing too many repetitive movements.
Yeah.
And when I got to the doctors, they're like, I was doing my Rubik's Cube.
Another one.
I was doing my Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
And they were like, have you been doing any repetitive motions lately? And I was like,
the Rubik's Cube.
And she's like, put that down. I was like,
well, that is great. All right, well, Cassandra is, she is great. Remember, here at Method 8, she's done a lot. Now, I always ask a few more questions before we close. Is there anything last you want to let everybody out there know? And especially how can they contribute to your little thing you have going on in Peru? How can they contribute?
Well, me as a teacher, always I like to help people. So I like to help by teaching them something. And this is something new that we realize the students like it a lot. So I would encourage any one of you who wants to learn something that you really like, that you have passion about it. You need to overcome all those challenges until you learn and master, because the more you practice, the more you get better.
So how do they contribute? Are you guys on Facebook? Can they find you on Facebook?
We're going to have probably an account.
Yeah, GoFundMe. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool. And they can contact you that way. And if you want to contribute, you can find Victor on Facebook or just, like I said, comment on the video and we'll get back. Last thing I'd say, since you're a teacher and you're a student, what would you like to see done better in the new age of schooling and teaching? What would you like to see done better as a teacher? What would you like to see change? Anything good?
Always I tell the students, set your goals, where you want to go, and day by day you need to work step by step. Nothing happens overnight.
What about you, Cassandra? What would you like to see change in the new age of
I would want them to have more confidence.
Yeah.
'Cause I know some kids, they're like, I can't do it, I just can't do it, that's it.
That's it.
But like he said, if you just keep trying and keep doing it every day, you'll get better at it, and you'll be able to do it, and then you'll feel like, oh, I'm worth something. You know?
Yeah. And then that's how it happens.
They'll start to feel better, you know.
Great. Well, we'll be right back next week. Please don't forget to, if you want to help us out in any way, go to our website, buy something, click on something, watch something, or just read something. And please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll be back next week. Have a good week, everybody. And thank you for tuning to The Mediator, The Late Show with Brian West. I want to thank Cassandra, Arcenio, and Victor for coming on the show. Have a good week, everybody.
All personnel report to the nearest tornado shelter. This is not a drill.
If you need help, then dial your operator.
Have no fear, fellow citizens. The Mediator is